Welcome, blood brothers and sanguine sisters, to Deeply Discussing Dexter. I'm your host, Dale Maxfield. I'm joined by Aaron Caldwell.
Hello.
Brooke Merritt.
Hi.
And Zach Rowland.
Hey.
And today we're discussing Season 7, Episode 12, Surprise, Motherfucker. On this episode, Eric King, motherfucker. Hannah is loose and leaving plants. Dexter kills Estrada. Deb kills LaGuerta. What did you guys think of this episode overall?
I mean, anytime you have dokes on screen, it's magic. So this one gets a big thumbs up for me. I liked how it set up the next season.
They killed LaGuerta.
Go ahead, Brooke.
I didn't expect that to completely interrupt you.
I didn't know what
everybody's
to say.
falling apart.
It was perfect. It was perfect. I'm sorry. That was just like that encapsulated everything good about this season all in one statement.
They did it, you guys.
Surprise, motherfucker, they killed LaGuerta.
I thought this was a good finale. I thought among the finales they've done on the show, this was a pretty solid one.
Is there no sanctity with friendship anymore? I mean, why is everyone killing everyone?
There's I should say this too. Like, I am not excited because they killed LaGuerta because I hate LaGuerta. I'm excited that they have one less character to just not give a fuck about plot lines for.
That is the truth.
Like, it could have been Quinn, it could have been Angel, but there's one fewer of them to worry about now, so.
And I think the impact of it being LaGuerta with the Deb situation gave her a lot more to do.
Absolutely.
So I liked this one. I know it was written by Scott Buck, and I shouldn't have, and I know we're getting into the bad parts of the show, but this was a really solid season ender. Yeah,
I agree. I did like it overall. It was a fun episode in terms of the flashbacks with the Doke stuff, and yeah, I was waiting for it. The LaGuerta being killed thing got spoiled to me a long time ago via some ding dong on Facebook, but I was like, it's got to happen eventually, and here we are. So
yeah, it was like 7 years ago too, but
it's not like
that was.
It's not like I wouldn't have found out some way through some article or something, you know.
Yeah, well,
hard to keep those.
There's a wiki that I use to pull a lot of the information about the writers and directors and stuff like that. And every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I should point this out to the group. And then I'm like, no, because like it's all full of spoilers. And, you know, if you click on any of the characters, it tells you like, you know, and then they were killed by this character. And like, you know, just don't look at it yet. Yeah. So it starts, Dexter visits Hannah in jail. Hannah admits to poisoning Deb. She says that his secret is safe with her. Dexter tells her that if there was any way to keep Deb safe, he would have found it. Or any other way to keep Deb safe, he would have found it. Dexter says they could never really trust one another not to kill each other. They kiss, and she bites his lip, drawing blood.
That's a hell of a bite. I mean, I don't know how much blood you have in your lips, but that was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
It's a little over dramatic.
I think it was just like getting him back for the mistletoe fake out.
Yeah.
It's like she's had like a couple like days to think about it, and she's like, yeah, I should have bit him. I'll bite him when I get the chance.
I was generally sad when I heard her say that she did do that to Deb. I was like, why?
You were supposed to be the one, Hannah.
Yeah. We have what do we have left?
Quinn and Nadia aren't together.
I'll find out in season 8. Yeah.
LaGuerta's
long dead.
Yeah.
Oh man, all my friendships are coming to an end. Ships.
Angel's retired.
End-ships.
Just like I don't know how to deal with it anymore.
Captain Matthews is friends with Booze.
Yeah, that'll never change.
Harrison misses Hannah for some reason. LaGuerta arrests Dexter for the murder of Hector Estrada. She cuffs him and leads him through Miami Metro. Angel and Deb are pissed.
I gotta wonder how they get this kid to say certain things the way he says them. It's just like, Hannah! And you're like, what? It's like how he said, what did he say, like daddy or whatever he used to say? Or
Die.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's all that luminol.
Yeah, I feel like they started from, having him ask, where's Hannah? And that was too much for the actor to do. So then it was just like, say Hannah. And he was like, Hannah. And they're like, no, say it like a question, Hannah. Like 2.5 hours later, they finally got what they showed us on screen. It was like, we're replacing these kids next season.
Oh, I will say that this...
Do they?
No, I'm joking.
Maybe.
I doubt it took them that
Spoiler
long.
alert.
You never know, man. You never know.
Jesus.
I really liked how they set this up because I did not expect her to jump on arresting Dexter this early. I thought it would come towards the middle or the end of the episode where she moved her plan forward, but it's starting just right out the gate.
Yeah. LaGuerta interrogates Dexter with a sympathetic Angel, no pun intended, watching over. Dexter goads her about not being able to see Dokes for what he was. Masuko ran the bloody shirt for evidence. It did have Estrada's blood, but it's from when Estrada was arrested in 1973 and was beaten bloody by the police. They also found LaGuerta's fingerprint on Estrada's wallet. LaGuerta realizes that Dexter set her up. Eric King suddenly appears. It's a flashback to Dexter and Dokes. LaGuerta breaks up with Dokes in front of Dexter, and we get our title, Surprise Motherfucker.
Did they actually... Are these from the earlier episodes, or did they...
No, they brought him back.
These?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure it out, because I was like, Dexter did look a little different, but not really that much different, so...
It's him reminiscing to the first time that he met Dokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look close enough, he and Dokes both look different than they did in seasons 1 and 2, but they try to make them look like they did back then.
Yeah,
So.
you get that Blu-ray. That's the key. You got to get the Blu-ray.
Well, they should have used some of the, they should have had Eric King straight out of Undercover work, so he had that high top fade from his driver's his fake driver's
With the puka
license.
shell necklace.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
They did a lot of overexposure, which was kind of something that the cinematography did in the early seasons. So whenever they were doing a flashback like that, after the first one, which they kept kind of the same look so that it felt like it really was him walking back in for a second. Those flashbacks are real overexposed, which is, that's how they do a lot of flashbacks on the show, but it's also made it look more like those early seasons. But yeah, obviously it was, the present day Michael C. Hall and Eric King shooting those scenes.
Yeah.
Angel confronts LaGuerta about getting Estrada released from jail just to go get Dexter. He tells her he needs to work hard, or that he tells her that she needs to work hard to fix her reputation, but that she can do it. Deb is mad at Dexter for setting up LaGuerta without her knowledge. Dexter says Hannah won't sell him out because she's in love with him. Harry reminds him that Estrada is still alive, and it's been 6 days from the last episode, somehow. And he needs to find him before LaGuerta does.
Yeah, I got confused a little bit there, because they made it seem like it was the next day after the last episode, but then it definitely wasn't, because you see the New Year's stuff, and then they call it the fact that it's almost January 1st and all that, but... Yeah. I was very confused for a hot second.
Mm.
And Hannah is in county jail. She's not in Miami Metro jail.
Yeah.
Which is another sign that time has passed.
Hard to follow.
She's been processed. Yeah. There's another flashback with Dokes. He says, "You like this crime scene shit a little too much." Matthews tells LaGuerta that there will be an official investigation, and he will tell them that they proved that Dokes was the Bay Harbor Butcher. Hannah taunts Deb with the fact that she knows that Deb knows what Dexter is. Arlene slips Hannah something in the courtroom. Hannah has a seizure in transit and is taken to the hospital, and she escapes.
You can always count on Arlene.
Well, like, Miami General is just as secure as Miami Metro, so...
Yeah, they didn't even really bother to try to even secure her.
Yeah, not even restraints. She's
good.
Right. So
Nothing to worry about.
Someone who's been charged with murder has now twice been able to physically touch other people in their presence in this episode, which is like does not happen ever.
Yeah.
Like if someone is charged with murder, they can't get anywhere near anybody else. So it's just funny. Like they lack in security all around everything.
especially like the guy that sold her out.
Yeah.
Like, she just has like a face-to-face meeting with the guy that sold her out and is allowed to kiss him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they allow that.
They do in Miami. Because, sometimes
Anything
people
goes.
die.
Yep.
Sometimes they go missing.
Sometimes they're murdered.
LaGuerta apologizes to Deb about arresting Dexter. She has some work to catch up on, including tying up loose ends on Travis Marshall. Deb denies being at the church where Travis died. Footage from security cameras near the church were accidentally forwarded to Mike's widow. Mike was married. I guess congratulations, stinky dead guy. And she has Deb on camera getting gas to burn down the church. LaGuerta gives Deb a chance to come clean, but Deb deflects.
Travis Marshall, here we are. Just more of that.
Hooray.
And also, I couldn't remember who Mike was. I had to think about that for a minute. I already forgot about Mike.
You know who I thought it was? I thought it was Mike from Breaking Bad, and I thought we had crossed over worlds for a second.
Mike
It would have made
Ehrman's
for a better show.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I guess that makes
Mike
sense.
wasn't married. So again, this is one of those things that really, really falls apart when you think about it, which is LaGuerta's been so focused on catching who she thinks is the real Bay Harbor Butcher that she didn't find all of the evidence from Travis Marshall's murder.
The thing that
kicked off the whole investigation.
Right.
And when she didn't see the security footage, she didn't ask for it a second time and find out that it was lost or something happened to it. Come on, LaGuerta.
The writing is beyond reproach.
Between what she's doing currently with Dexter and decorating her house for all of the holidays extravagantly, she doesn't have time to look at this evidence, guys. She's very, very busy with all of and visiting Captain Matthews. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
When is a woman going to have time to sit down and look at surveillance? I just give her a break here,
The only way this writing is beyond reproach is if the writers took a pen and at the top of every page of the script wrote the words "beyond reproach." They have to have literally written it. Dexter follows Estrada's wife and finds him in a park. He M99s him in broad daylight, because whatever, and puts him in the trunk. Dexter gets
the worst. That was so. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Not only do you not like, there's security cameras, but it's the park. There's these kids. I mean, remember last time with the soccer ball in the grave? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, remember he killed an assassin the other day.
At a shooting
That's
range.
true.
2 feet away from other people.
You know what's crazy is I forgot that's the same season. Like,
It's all running together.
it really does.
So much trash. Dexter gets the bad news from Deb about the security footage. Estrada wakes up in the trunk and makes a noise. Deb gets out annoyed. Dexter finds warrants.
Also, sorry, I want to put out. Remember when Dexter had the guy wrapped up in plastic wrapped in the back of his trunk? Like, He like this is a thing for him, and it almost seems like more of a kink than anything else. Where he's like,
at this point,
I got somebody in the back of my truck all wrapped up, ready to go, just in case I got to kill.
Yeah. Dexter finds warrants in LaGuardia's house to get the GPS information on Dexter and Deb's phone the night they burn the church. Harry urges Dexter to run. Dexter says his life is no longer fake. He doesn't want to lose it. They argue over whether Dexter can kill LaGuardia. I don't want no fucking donut, Morgan. Dokes confides that he never should have hooked up with LaGuardia. Dexter slips up and reveals that he knows something about a missing killer that Dokes was after. The sum total of all these flashbacks is just to show that Dexter was careless around Dokes, and Dokes figured out that there was something weird about him.
Yeah, he was a creep motherfucker. Yep. It's strange to me that Dokes like opens up to him about the hooking up with LaGuardia thing. It just seems so uncharacteristic. It serves the plot, but it doesn't seem like Dokes, you know?
Yeah, it's like they're summarizing a lot in these very few lines.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to have 4 30-second flashbacks with Dokes. We got to make them count.
I wish they had done like another Nebraska, but this time Dokes was with him instead of Brian. That would have been great.
That would have been the best episode
Ghost
ever.
Dokes.
Just like, yes,
Ghost Dokes is the best Dokes.
I mean, if they can do
like,
Ghost Harry, why not?
So let's play out the scene in the gas station. He's like, come on, you creep motherfucker. You gonna go back there and fuck that girl? She thinks you're a creep too.
Every time Dexter goes to do something, like he opens up an elevator and there's Ghost Dokes. Surprise, motherfucker! Just every scene, it would have been perfect.
Boo! Dexter has Estrada call LaGuardia back to the container where they found the chainsaw. Estrada apologizes for killing Dexter's mother. Dexter says Estrada will be easy to kill, but his next kill will be much harder. Estrada tries to sympathize. Dexter stabs him dead. At Angel's retirement bar and grill, Quinn and Jamie have a drink and flirt. Deb realizes Dexter and LaGuardia are missing from the party. Deb calls in and gets a 20 on LaGuardia's vehicle, headed for the shipyards.
Quinn's getting a storyline?
Yeah, Quinn and Jamie drink and flirt.
Yeah.
We're setting up storylines for them for later. So hooray. And I love that Miami Metro has the technology not just to know where a vehicle is, but where it's headed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because like how is she supposed to... Dispatch is supposed to know where they're going to... that's stupid.
I mean, I didn't go off about the whole warrant for the GPS on the phones from some past date, which is not something that you can get.
Yeah. Or is it credible, really? Because we all know that the GPS technology now is like that. They can't use that even in court hearings anymore because like it's just not accurate.
Yeah, all it means is where your phone is. And the stuff that they can subpoena is typically like what cell tower you were connected to, which is even less accurate. And so, like, yeah. But yeah, this is even more ridiculous is determining, like, saying, she's headed for the shipyards. It's like, no, you can tell like what street she was at like 3 minutes ago, maybe like what, like within like a couple hundred yards of where she was, but headed for the shipyards. Like what, she's just driving east towards the ocean.
There's a huge map, and like half of Miami is just circled and says shipyards.
No, she's used her car to drive in the shape of an arrow pointing at the shipyards, and that's what they can see on the GPS.
It takes.
At least she didn't call Matthews, and he's like, "Well, she's headed to Cuba."
Gonna drink a mosquito.
Yeah, she's all hopped up on mosquitoes. LaGuardia arrives and enters the container with her gun drawn. She finds Estrada's body. Dexter M99s her. Dexter tells Harry his plan to make it look like Estrada and LaGuerta shot each other. Deb arrives and hears a gunshot. She enters the container and finds Dexter standing over LaGuerta. She draws her gun. She tells Dexter that she can't let him go through with this. LaGuerta wakes up and tells Deb to shoot him. Dexter picks up a knife. LaGuerta tells Deb that she's not like Dexter. She's a good person. Dexter agrees with LaGuerta and drops the knife. And then Deb shoots LaGuerta dead and then collapses on top of her in anguish.
I actually read something interesting that wasn't
that was her idea
planned to go like that. It just kind of happened in the moment that she went over there and hugged her.
Yeah, that's true.
But that
phenomenal scene.
Yeah, Deb's amazing. Like any scene she's in, she elevates. But how is he going to make it look like Estrada and LaGuerta shot each other? Like anybody worth their salt is going to be able to see that the deaths happened quite a bit of time between one another. And didn't he stab Estrada?
They point out in the episode.
Miami Metro.
They point out in the episode, Harry says it, that him shooting Estrada in the heart will conceal the stab wound.
I guess I missed that.
Yeah, that's sad. But also at the same time, like I guess Brooke points it out, it's Miami Metro, so it doesn't. They don't.
Yeah,
they're idiots. But it doesn't. It's like, why would the two of them show up in this shipping container together? Like, why would Estrada and LaGuerta have been in the shipping container together with guns? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, she has a gun because she's a cop.
We'll never know, guys.
It's just stupid. It's a stupid fucking plan.
Yeah.
And Dexter is it's like he's just lost all intelligence level of like when he used to kill to now. Like he's had too much sex. Remember when he wasn't having any of the sex?
Served him better.
Yeah, when he's not having any of the sex, he's this killing machine. He's just fucking perfect on the point. And then when he's having all the sex and getting all the bites, he's a floundering, bustering idiot. And I'm sick of it. I'm done with you, Dexter. No more best performance of the episode on any forthcoming episodes.
He can't have it anyway, but good try.
It's not Michael C. Hall.
And rant.
Also, Miami Metro, as per previous dialogue from earlier episodes, are rock stars. Rock stars.
Now, Aaron pointed it out, and it is true that I don't know how many takes of it they did, but the take that they ended up using, they just kind of let Jennifer Carpenter go with it, and her natural inclination after shooting LaGuerta was to just like run over and hug her, and so that's what we see in the edit of the episode. Yeah. And I think that scene is really amazing. I actually think now that I've watched it a couple of times, the shots where whenever they do the reverse and they show Deb holding the gun, trying to make the decision, that those are like the best shots of the episode, or not of the episode. Those are some of the best shots of the show. Just the expression on her face and the way it's framed, and like you don't expect that she's about to kill LaGuerta, but you can see it on her face that whatever she does is going to be torture.
Yeah. It takes it a different depth to this whole thing. And her portrayal of that moment is just so incredibly good. Probably one of the best scenes of the entire show by far.
I remember when I first watched this, I felt that this season really could have been the final season, and how they built it up, like this was it. And the fact that it had, before this episode even aired, been renewed for season 8.
Before they started shooting the season.
Before they started shooting the season, all of the tension at the time was gone, because obviously we knew a season 8 was going to happen. So we knew that at best Deb was going to arrest Dexter.
Yeah, we didn't know they were going to burn through they were going to burn through the opportunity for Dexter to get caught at the end of season 7, which would have been, I think, what more people expected was that season 8 would be, about him escaping or him dealing with going to trial or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just not the show. I also think it's interesting. I wonder if this was always written this way, as we talked about, the way that scene ends being sort of an improvisation. I wonder if LaGuerta got another line in the original script, because she just sort of dies without, like, they just really end that character, and it seems like the kind of thing where they would give her like one last line before she dies, kind of thing, but they don't.
Yep. Two things about Deb. One, I think that's interesting about the improvisation of her going over to LaGuerta, but I think it's instinctual because of the fact that LaGuerta's pretty much been like a mother to her since her mother died, through the good and the bad. Like, they've had a very tumultuous relationship, but at the same time, I think Deb sort of looks to her like a stand-in mother figure, the way she sort of looks at Matthews as like a stand-in father figure. Like, there's, through the hierarchy and the police brotherhood and all that, what have you. So it like makes sense, which is, I think, a great choice as an actor to do that. So that's really cool to know that she did that. Like, that's really, really awesome. But then also too, oh, go ahead.
No, you finish your thought.
Just wanted to say that in terms of Deb, her emotional story arc, I mean, she's gone through so much in terms of emotion, right? Like, I feel like if any character throughout all of the seasons so far, none of them have hit the emotions that she has had to hit or had to deal with, like, in any capacity, not even Dexter, Like, it's amazing what she's had to go through and endure through 7 seasons of this show. And to, like, get to that scene and see what she does with that scene, like, you're right, Aaron, like, it's just, she's phenomenal, and she's proved herself in this show to be probably definitely the top tier of actors in this show,
Easily, yeah.
The beautiful thing about this scene is everything you said is absolutely correct, but going even further than that, looking at everything that she's lost, she lost her mother, she lost her father, but she had her father's memory, and then, that was sullied with the fact that he was sleeping with a CI, so she lost that. She lost her fiance. She's had just train wrecks of relationships, and
Well, this is the first time she killed someone without her vagina.
well, I'm getting to that. Dexter was her rock, and now he's been revealed to be a killer. So she's literally lost everything except for she's a righteous cop. And she lost that in this scene. And
Yes,
so she's
yeah.
not just mourning the death of LaGuerta, she's mourning the death of her.
Yeah, that's
and
a great point.
It's just that much more powerful.
In reality, when you break it down, the heart of the show has always been Deb. If you put side by side Deb's storyline, beginning to end, next to Dexter, I mean, Deb's had a much more interesting arc than Dexter ever could have had.
Yeah, Dexter by design doesn't have depth to him.
Yeah, right.
Funny enough.
And
He's a shark.
This just completely seeing this character who really has been the heart of the show, because Dexter isn't the heart of the show. Seeing her just get decimated now and destroyed, it just really, I don't know, takes it to another level.
Well, it ends with Deb and Dexter walking in slow motion through the New Year's Eve party. Dexter says, "Is this a new beginning or the beginning of the end?" It's the second one. Fireworks explode to Old Lang Syne. So this was directed by Steve Schill, who directed 13 episodes over all 8 seasons, except for season 6. This is his 4th season finale on Dexter, having directed the finales for seasons 2, 4, and 5 previously. He will return for 2 episodes of season 8, including its series finale. It was written by Scott Buck and Tim Schlattman. Scott Buck, of course, his previous episode was the season 7 premiere. He's the showrunner and wrote 18 episodes, 3 per season, until season 6 when he did 2 per season. Tim Schlattman has written 2 episodes for all 8 seasons except for his one in season 5. And the writing team of Buck and Schlattman, as well as director Steve Schill, will return for the series finale. What was the best line of the episode?
I chose when Dexter and Deb are talking about him setting up La Guerta, and he says, "Would you prefer my usual method of conflict resolution?"
That was good. It's
incorrect.
It's not correct, but it's good.
Good
What
job.
was it?
Go ahead.
Good job. Zach,
What was the correct line?
We'll see.
Okay.
I pretty much just had everything Dokes said, period.
That's very close.
From surprise, motherfucker. Yeah, like it was like
There was.
yeah, that fuck coincidences. I don't believe in him. You are one creep, motherfucker. I mean, just everything he says is great.
There were some great lines, and one I particularly liked that he said was, "You slide in a crime scene like a lizard on ice." But the correct answer was "surprise, motherfucker." That is the best line ever.
I love that that's the title of the episode. They actually titled an episode that, and even still, you don't expect Dokes to show up, and there he is.
So funny.
How about the worst line of the episode?
I went with Masuka. The donut you choose says a lot about a man, followed by his laugh.
Yeah,
Picked a big donut.
yeah, definitely Masuka and his Long John donut choice.
Yep.
Just Masuka in general.
His long
Low point in a solid episode.
I
Let's just-
will co-sign that.
called a Long John Deere donut.
Everything about Masuka and his donut. Is anyone going to argue against Jennifer Carpenter for performance of the episode?
Don't see how we could.
I
Yeah.
wanted
You
to
want-
give it to Eric King, but that
Yeah.
final scene, man, that final scene is just so brutal. And
Yeah.
you even got to give it to La Guerta because she brings it in that scene too.
It's hard though, because I think it's Jennifer Carpenter's best scene in the whole show.
Oh yeah,
So
it's not a question. Once that scene happens, you're just like, and Deb wins.
Yep, hands down. Yeah, I agree. I really wanted to give it to La Guerta. Last episode, she was just killed off. She was really good. Then you show up with Dokes, and you want to give him the honorable mention just for existing, but you can't take it away from Jennifer Carpenter.
I disagree, Dale. I think that Deb's best scene was the blood red spaghetti dinner scene.
I really thought you were going to go back to the hot dog stand.
Yeah.
Hot dog
That's
stand's pretty good.
absolutely where I thought you were going. We all thought you were going for the hot dog stand.
Man, what a
Speaking-
twist.
Speaking of hot dog stands, so we gave Zach a special assignment for this episode to record your reactions.
Yeah.
Tell us how that went, Zach.
It was so much fun, except for that I didn't record any audio, so it's just video, but it's also just me in my pajamas drinking and playing with my kitten. So it should be for a good watching experience for people who, well, probably just our 3 or 4 listeners. You know,
I'll just play it as B-roll over the rest of the YouTube episodes from here on out.
yeah.
Just Zach playing with a kitten. Like nothing else interesting is going on.
Screen cap forever.
So you mentioned before that you were spoiled about La Guerta. Did you know that Deb killed her?
No, I didn't. I actually really thought that Dexter killed her. So that was a surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. Because the 2 that I was anticipating, the reason I was asking you to record the whole episode, not just like the last 20 minutes or whatever, was the appearance of Dokes.
Yeah.
I thought that would surprise you. And there was something else. When you said something to me about the blackmail, the reveal of the blackmail
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, and I think that definitely had a surprise moment for me. Like I had a reaction from that. I wasn't surprised with the Eric King thing because of the title, I think. So I guess with the title, I just expected it, but I was just also I wanted
it's been
it
like
too.
5 seasons though since we've seen him.
Yeah, but I just knew that I think that with all the talk of the Bay Harbor Butcher and Dokes, like him being back in the plot, I was like, I feel like maybe they could do a flashback or something, and then they did.
Yeah.
So yeah, more or less the LaGuardia blackmail and then her being killed by Deb. Those were the two reactions that I had.
I don't know enough about Eric King to know if he's always bald shaven or not, or if they had to get him to agree to do that for the show.
It's probably easier for him to just be clean shaven and bald, so they can just use different wigs and stuff.
Yeah,
like the high top fade.
Well,
and I would say after playing Dokes in seasons 1 and 2, he's probably he probably banks on that recognition a little bit. So
actually, I wanna say in an interview he said that the pictures that they used for his IDs were actual pictures of him.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we looked that up last time or whenever that was.
When they had all the crazy driver's license photos and stuff.
So good.
But yeah.
All right. Well, that's season 7. We got one more to go. We will see you guys on the next season of Deeply Discussing Dexter.